Solve for y. So we're trying to find the value of y, which is the variable in this equation. It's the unknown in this equation. So let's do that. What we want to do is we want to end up on the left-hand side with y, and on the right-hand side we want to end up with a number. So let's start getting rid of the stuff that we don't need. In this case, we will start with plus 2. We don't need plus 2. We want to get rid of it. So we cancel plus 2 by minusing plus 2. So we do the opposite, or the reciprocal. And on the right-hand side, we do the same. So now I've cancelled out the positive 2 or plus 2, and I'm left on that left-hand side with my negative 6y. And on the right-hand side, what I'm left with is minus 34 minus 2, which takes me down to minus 36. So I'm nearly there. I want to cancel out multiplying by minus 6, because this says minus 6 times y. So I'm multiplying by minus 6. So I do the opposite of multiplying by minus 6. I divide by minus 6. And I do the same to the other side. So what happens next? That gets cancelled out. I'm left with y, and on the left hand side, and on the right hand side, negative 36 divided by negative 6 is positive 6, and that is the answer. Let's check. So if we think that y, the value of y is 6, let's check. So negative 6 times 6, so that is negative 36, and then I add 2, that will take me to negative 34, which is what it says here on this side. So this y equals 6 is correct. So I've just checked it. We'll do the same kind of process for this equation. So we minus the 2, minus 2 on the right, so this cancels it out. We have the term here, minus 6y, and so that is what's left, okay, on the left-hand side, minus 6y, that is a term, minus 6y, and on the right-hand side, it's minus 48. And let's take it a step further. We want to cancel the multiplying by negative 6. We do that by doing the opposite, or the reciprocal. We divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6. So we're left with y on the left-hand side, and negative 48 divided by negative 6 is positive 8. Let's quickly check, see if that's correct. So let's see, y equals 8, right? So 6 times, what is it? 8 is 48. 2 minus 48 is, negative 46, which is correct. That is the same answer as that, so this must be correct as well. Let's move quickly down to this one down here. So negative 16 equals 2 minus 6y. So we want to be left with y equaling a constant or a value, so let's do that. This is positive 2, right? So we minus 2. That cancels out the positive 2. Whatever we do to one side, we've got to do to the other, so we minus 2 from that side, from the left-hand side. What's left on this side at the moment? What's left is this term right here, which is negative 6y. So that's what's left, negative 6y. And on this side, minus 16 minus 2 takes us further away from 0, so it's minus 18. Next step, we want to cancel out the minus 6 multiplied by y. We want to take away the multiplying by minus 6. So let's do that. We do the opposite of multiplying by minus 6. We divide by minus 6. And on this side, we divide by minus 6. So we do the same to both sides. This gets cancelled out. Y equals 18 divided, or negative 18 divided by negative 6 is positive 3. We should always end with y on the left-hand side, so we'll just swap those two terms around, and we're left with y equals 3. But does y equal 3? We should have 6 times 3. Now, what? Because 3 comes from here, right? We know what y is now. Y is 3. So 6 times 3, what is that? 18. And then we have 2 minus that. So 2 minus 18 equals negative 16, and that's what it says on this side, so this is correct. For the last one, what have we got? 38 equals negative 6y plus 2. Okay, let's get rid of the plus 2. Let's cancel it out. We take away 2 from both sides, and we're left on this side with the term negative 6y, and on this side, we're left with 36. So now we say we want to cancel out the negative 6, or the multiplying by negative 6. So we divide by negative 6. And we do the same to both sides. And so, on the right-hand side, we're left with y. 36 divided by negative 6 is negative 6. So y equals negative 6. Okay, so let's put that on the left-hand side. So these are in the right places. Formatting wise, y equals negative 6. Let's just make sure that that actually is correct. This here says negative 6 times, what is it? Negative 6. Now that's 38, right? 36. Negative times negative equals positive. So it's positive 36. And then we had to add 2, which is 38. And that's what was on this side. So we know that negative 6 is correct.